Hi, and welcome back to Ask a Pennsylvania Dutchman. My name is Chris LaRose, and this here is Douglas Maidenford, our resident Pennsylvania Dutchman.
That's right, buddy.
Did you episode up, boo?
Hey,
All right.
the people want answers. Let's go.
All right, well, we have a question that comes in from Jeff Snyder of Sinking Spring.
Hey, we mentioned Sinking Spring in a previous video.
Yes, we gotta find out where the spring sank. Or if it's still sinking.
What's he say?
He says, I just discovered Ask a PA Dutchman and have
You just discovered us?
That's
We're glad you found us.
We're glad, yeah. Well, he says, I've been binge watching it for 3 days. It reminds me so much of growing up and how my grandparents and uncle act and talk. I watched so much of you guys, I'm thinking with a Dutch accent.
Oh.
Anyway, to my question. Like a good old Dutch boy, I'm headed to deer camp in a few weeks and need some good Dutchie insults that I can fling at the other guys. We've got lots of Dutchmen at camp, so these will not go unappreciated. Sekkelkop, I remember being called that, and Hiwwe, good start, but I need more. He needs PA Dutch ammunition.
Well, I'm glad you found us, and binging on Ask a Dutchman, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good time. So you need insults. Well, it's kind of funny.
They always made them up as they went. It depended.
Yeah, and I think it's like, what if we came, instead of giving Pennsylvania Dutch words, I mean, we can give a couple. He gave 2 great ones that we kind of got to be careful with because the one's totally not PG. Excuse me. Sekkelkop and Hiwwe, those are good ones. What about if we gave English ones that anybody could use?
I think that'd work. Like I said, when I think everybody made them up back in the day. They had a lot of time while they were working that they would think of things and
proof.
And a lot of the old PA Dutchmen, while everybody thinks, oh, dumb old farmers, they were pretty sharp. They had razor tongues and they could use them. My grandfather was good at it. So
like something like, your mother eats sauerkraut with a spoon.
Oh, that's gotta gut cuts.
Who does that, right?
Yeah.
Something like that, along those lines.
Why, I bet you eat sauerkraut with a spoon. Yeah.
Your mom.
Your mom.
It always hits harder if you make fun of somebody's mother.
You gotta work up to it first. You can say, I bet you use syrup on your scrapple.
I bet it killed your mother to not have any children.
Oh, that's harsh. Whew. Yeah, I don't know.
Your turn.
Oh, I don't know.
This is like a competition. This is like a competition.
I didn't know. I wasn't ready for it, Doug.
I bet you eat next to the manure pile. No, it's not as fun.
That's not as good. Not as good.
That's not as good.
Well, don't hurt yourself.
I know this is tough.
Yeah.
How did these guys?
No wonder he's asking us.
How did these guys come up with them so fast?
Well, maybe they were thinking about one all day and they just saved it.
The Pennsylvania Dutch are easy. They really can save things and hold, like we talked about holding grudges.
Oh, they can.
I'll bet you if the right guy had an insult for somebody.
Oh yeah.
And he was waiting for just the right time.
It could have been from 20 years ago,
And finally that day came. And he got to use it. That had to be one of the most fulfilling experiences.
Oh, yeah. And they do it in a subtle way, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have, been in the 3rd grade and dipped some girl's pigtails in the inkwell, and then 20 years later, she came up with a real zinger for him. Got him good. Yeah.
Bam. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only answer is you're just going to have to start stewing on things. Take everything personal, I guess.
That is terrible advice. We are living in an era where mental health issues are at an all-time high, and you're telling people to stew on things that get you worked up, and don't just sit on it for 20 years.
Sit on it for 20 years.
You can't do that.
And then when it's ripe, then you throw it out there.
Hopefully you don't have to wait 20 years to do it. Has anybody ever done a good insult at you? Like threw one at you, and you were like left dumbfounded.
Old Dutchman, yeah, but it's been
you don't have an example?
It's been so long, it's hard to think of one. Because all the best ones were the old guys, the old guys.
This happened to me, true story, about 2 years ago. I was in this store, and I had my little kid, my daughter and my son with me, and they would have been about 6 and 4 years old or something, 5 and 3 years old. And I'm not bragging, and you can attest this, I got cute kids. And we're walking through this store, and this old lady's we were standing next to each other, something in the aisle, and she looks over and she goes, "Your children are beautiful." And I said, "Well, thank you, ma'am. Look at their father."
Oh.
And without skipping a
You
beat,
set
she
yourself
turned to
up
me and
for
said, "Yeah, despite that." She hit me so fast. I was left speechless. I was left speechless.
Well, truth hurts, Doug. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm God. All right, yeah.
That was a good one, though.
Yeah, it was.
That was a good one.
Well, I think the good PA Dutch insults are dependent upon how the old Dutchmen think. You know, they had an earthier way of talking.
Sure.
You know, I remember this old Dutchman was hanging out with this younger fella who had a computer, and he couldn't get it to work.
Yeah.
And the thing just started fizzling.
Oh my goodness.
Fizzling, and smoke was burning and everything. And he said, why, the reason it don't work is the smoke got out. He let the smoke out of it. And I thought that was kind of funny, because most people would say, oh, my computer burned up. Like, well, you let the smoke out. You gotta say things backwards almost.
Speaking of which, one time, one of my favorite examples of that, I was at camp, and the old 10th grade Dutch boys were there, and it was in like June or something like that, and this one old Dutchman said, aye, it's June. The year's half round already.
Half round already.
Isn't that a great phrase?
Yeah, see, that's a kind
now
of
we're
stuff.
not even talking about the question, but now we're talking.
Well, we're building the building blocks for how to insult. You gotta have the.
You gotta think that.
You gotta think
like
a Dutchman.
Who would think? Yeah, you gotta think like a Dutchman in order to give these insults out. Now, who would look at a situation like that? The year is half over, or something like this, like we'd say in modern English, and his thought process was the year is half round already, which totally makes sense.
Well, there was an old fella that was, I forget what he was doing. I think it was a plumber or something, but he had one of those canned air things blowing.
Yeah.
And it all sputtered and it wouldn't work anymore. It's like, oh, I ran out of wind. You know, they don't think, I ran out of compressed air. It's I ran out of wind.
Right. You have to put your Pennsylvania Dutch hat on and look at the world through a Pennsylvania Dutchman's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can start. Once you do that, then I think the insults will just come.
Well, then why aren't we any better at it yet?
That's a great question. Well, some people see better than others.
Yeah, I guess so. Like that woman in the supermarket.
Yeah, that was quick.
Yeah.
She was darn fast, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And I love a good insult like that. I mean, it wasn't like she was degrading me. She was, but at the same time, it was.
Well, the best insults are in the moment. Because they have to do with exactly what's going on. So if you go in there, with canned lines, they ain't gonna work the way you want them to.
That's right.
You gotta just be ready to rock, looking for that.
That's why people love us, because we don't script anything. We just
make it all up as we go.
We just click record.
If it's terrible, then you're stuck with it.
Yeah, but if it isn't, then it's that magic.
I guess so.
That theater magic.
Well, see, that's why I like doing music live, Everybody will record music at one instrument at a time and edit it and mix it and all that stuff. I like the
spontaneity of it.
Yeah, I like the rough edges, and good insults have rough edges.
Yeah, they do. Listen, I'm sure that you've been insulted before, or maybe you've given a good insult. You gotta put them down in the comment section, because that'll give us all a good laugh, right?
Yeah, and the other thing I do have to say, if you're gonna insult people, you gotta step it up slow. You don't
throw your ace at the beginning.
Yeah, you don't want to drop all four aces all at once. You gotta do a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
And then that gives you time to calculate the good one.
Absolutely, and it gives more pow.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know your good Pennsylvania Dutch themed insults. I'll bet you there's great stuff out there. Let us know. Keep those questions coming too. Otherwise, what are we gonna do? Sit and just look at you.
Yeah. 4 minutes of us blinking.
Some people might think that's better than what we're doing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, well.
All right. Well, I think you heard it from the Dutchman.
You did hear
whether you wanted it or not.
Whether you wanted to hear it or not.
You might hear from him again. Who knows?
Till next time, keep the questions coming and
Mock's good.
If you have a question, you have to email us at busterpa@yahoo.com.